Hey, what's up, everybody? Melanie Diane Howe here. So, I'm actually going to unbox a new toy today. So, I actually went to Best Buy earlier to, I'm working on changing some things in my studio. It's my downstairs living room, which is also my office, which is also my studio, which is also my daughter's slime PlayStation things. Hey, welcome to quarantine, right? You guys, welcome to the pandemic. So I went there today to actually buy a new bulb for my lamp back there, which is now plugged in. I'm going to be changing some stuff so I can get some different looks, different vibes for my live videos, just because it's fun, right? We should be always having fun as we are doing this stuff. So the other thing when I was there, I noticed a couple weeks ago when I was at Best Buy that they had an end cap that has from JLab, which has 3 different microphones. They are all USB microphones, which means they do not require drivers or a mixer or special software. You literally plug it into any USB device and it will work. That's what's called plug and play. So plug and play is the way I roll with most of my stuff. Let me turn that thing off so we don't get any more beeps during this unboxing. So I actually just went live inside of my Facebook group. So I have a Facebook group called DIY Marketing with Melanie. Shout out to my DIYers. Essentially, it's for all of those of us that are you're doing your own marketing. You are a DIYer for your marketing. And so we are playing with apps, we're trying new things, but I like to try things, figure the stuff out so that I can then make it even more doable and equip people to be even more professional with their marketing content. And so that's what we do. So I was just in there in my group talking about a few of the new toys that I kind of recently picked up, including that fun light. And I was actually talking about totally changing my office, my studio to be smart enabled so that I can just switch between working office to studio. So there is a difference. You know, I'm not always gonna have a purple light when I'm working in my office. I'm not always gonna have my studio lights on when I'm just sitting and working. I don't need those big production lights on. So anyway, I digress. That video, we talked about that stuff, but I was talking about this microphone that I picked up and I was getting ready to start setting it up. And I thought, why don't I just unbox this bad boy over on YouTube Live and let people see what it's all about? Here's why I'm doing it, because it's plug and play. It should be easy, right? We shall see. So if you're live and you're here, say hello. Let me know you're here. What questions do you have? Do you use a microphone? Are you live streaming? I definitely want to know those types of things. In case you're curious, I am actually using a USB mic right now, the Blue Yeti. This is actually the microphone that I use for a lot of my stuff. I use it for my podcast, but I'm always exploring different products. I own other microphones. I also own this bad boy, the Blue Yeti Nano made also by Blue as well. I don't really use it that much, but these things just look cool. I mean, look at the picture of this thing. They just look cool. And I thought for as cheap as it was $40. I thought, let's give this thing a try because the Yetis they're like 130 plus. The Nano's $100. I mean, we don't all want to spend hundreds of dollars on equipment. So I thought, why don't I try one of these inexpensive microphones? And if it does a great job, fantastic. Now I have another item that I can recommend to people so that we are lowering that barrier of entry for people to get going with better production quality streams. So that's what we're going to do. All right. So it's actually, I already untaped it. I started to open it and I thought, let's just unbox this thing on live video. Right. So that's what we're doing. So pretty cool. Good packaging. I actually, JLab is the brand here. They make they make speakers, wireless speakers. I have a set of wireless headphones. In fact, I've owned multiple sets of wireless headphones from JLab. And they've all worked really well. I've been very pleased with their products. They are known for making more inexpensive products that we all want. So, you got Apple AirPods, you got Bose earbuds, wireless. Well, JLab makes those things for like a third of the cost and they work great. They work great. So, if you're a name brand person, you probably don't want this microphone. You probably want one of these, a Blue Yeti or something. But if you want to save money and see what it's like, then you might want to try JLab. This isn't an affiliate video at all. This is just me just trying stuff out. Here's the thing I noticed off the bat. This thing is lightweight. I mean, this thing is super light. Wow. Like, I don't know if that's the benefit to that would be if I'm on the go and I want to take it with me. This thing is light. This thing is heavy. Like, maybe it's the stand that it comes with is heavy, but I know my Blue Yeti is heavy. The other reason I really wanting to try this thing out is because it looks cool. Like, I just think it looks really cool. I mean, how cool does that thing look? Because a lot of times the microphone, when I do streams and do things, it's in the shot. And in fact, it sounds better when it's in the shot because of the direction and how I'm talking, but that looks a little funky, doesn't it? Even if I take, this little guy off, it still looks a little weird in my opinion. This is just a cheap little pop filter type of thing so my P's don't sound so strong. But look at this thing. This looks pretty cool. It just looks neat. So that was definitely one of the things that enticed me to it, because sometimes, again, it's in your shot. And so I thought, well, let's just check it out. Already off the bat, one thing I do notice is that there's not a mount on the back side. It looks like to be the settings button. There are some settings I'll talk about in a second. There's a headphone jack. There is a USB-C, which is the new style of USB ports. And then there's a volume, and that is for if you have your headphones plugged into it so you can hear the sound quality, you can turn that up and down so you don't bust out your eardrums. So already I see that that's pretty simple. The difference would be, for example, the Yetis, they have a mounting bracket on the bottom of their mics so that you can hook them up to a boom arm or, something like that. This is hooked up back here. You can see it's taped because I bought the cheap one for $20 on Amazon versus the $100 and some one, which is probably the problem, but whatever. I don't care. There is a mounting, a screw mount right here, which it does come with a tripod. This is the tripod that came in the package. And it does have a bracket to mount this thing. So, really interesting little setup here. Make sure I have all the pieces. I think I do. It's look at that. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that just might fit into the back of my Yeti too. So that's pretty interesting. So anyway, this is how you would mount your microphone on the stand. This is a little tripod that comes for you to mount it onto your desk. So as it is pictured here, so as you can see here, that is how you would mount it. Pretty interesting view, pretty interesting style to go with that. I personally would want this thing on an arm just because I want to be able to move it, swing it out of the way. But then again, maybe it's going to work just great and I'm just going to want to move it back and forth from where it is. So, all right, this thing is what's going to screw into this guy right here. So, and this is an adjustable bracket that is going to let us move this thing around so that we can reposition how we want it to go. And then this screws on here. As we get this thing mounted. I need to find the cable. There's a cable in here somewhere. A USB cable. All right, so now it's all set up. It's adjustable, as I said. So you just loosen this thing, and as you can see, here we are. We can move this thing around. You would want to probably talk into this. One thing I don't know about this microphone is, does the audio record from here, or does it also record from here? Be really interested to know that. Now, before I plug this in, I'm going to talk about the difference between microphone styles when it comes to what I was just describing. So I'm going to tighten up. I'm going to kind of set it up like this, assuming it might pick up through here just based on the way this thing looks, but don't be fooled. Because, for example, the Yeti, a lot of people, you'll see pictures of them using their Yeti and they are talking into the tip of it. It does not record anything from the tip. All of the audio, it will record you, but for the best sound, for example, when I get up close here, you're going to notice that it sounds totally different because I'm up close and it's just different. It's not having to pull in background stuff but I'm back here. I don't want to be in your face. Now, when I record my podcast, I am recording much closer to the microphone, but this is an awkward video to have the microphone in my face. So I put it away. The Yeti lets you adjust the gain so you can pick up how much you record. This guy has a couple of features. I'll go over the features right now. So it lets you do a Omni style of recording, which is essentially all around. So it's everywhere. You would use that for like conference. If you had like a conference room and you were using this microphone for like 5 people sitting around a table and you want everybody to be able to hear, that's what you would use it. Basically, it's going to get everything. And then it also has cardioid. And cardioid is where it's only going to record from one side of the microphone. So right now, for example, I have my Yeti set up on cardioid. So I'm recording from this side, not this side. So it sounds different. I just stuck my head in the camera. So there's a directional change. You can adjust the directional change. And as you can see, there's little diagrams that show you what I'm describing. So again, cardioid is what you would use if you were using it to podcast or if it was just you by yourself. And then Omni is more of a surrounding. So if you had maybe a guest in your video with you, you would, maybe potentially want to put it on Omni, or if you were doing you were recording a podcast with multiple people, you'd probably want to do an Omni style. So, that would be the settings there. I don't see myself using Omni ever, hardly at all. I don't use it hardly at all in my business now. So I don't probably foresee myself using it that way now. On the back of the mic is where you would make those adjustments. It looks like we're going to push that button right there to toggle from Omni to cardioid. So what I don't know is what side of this microphone we're recording from. I literally have no clue. So my guess would be actually, in looking at this, well, I don't know. We're just going to have to figure it out, aren't we? This thing is nice. I will say this. Tripods, especially when they're really short like this, tend to be really crappy. In fact, I always tell people when you're going to buy a cell phone tripod, don't ever buy one of these teeny tiny ones because they never hold up your phone and your phone tips over. This feels really nice. It's actually super nice. It's got the blue tips are rubber, so it's actually going to, help keep the sound vibrations down, but also it doesn't move. It doesn't want to slide around, which is a good benefit. That's a good plus for sure. All right, let me bust out the cable. Let's plug this thing in. I hope it's going to let me change to the new mic. I'm using StreamYard to go live right now. I'm hoping that it will let me go live. I forgot to put on my little banner, so I'll tell you guys what I'm doing here. Because I'm already live and I already have the application open, it may not want me to allow me to recognize the new microphone, but I can actually close out the browser, reopen it, and it will still keep me live. All right, this is a shorter cable. It's 5 feet, so it's not super long. You can get USB extensions for any device that you use. Usually when you use an extension, though, the one little thing that can happen is sometimes it can diminish your quality. So the longer your cable for anything, the harder the brain waves of the technology have to work. So for example, I don't know if you know this, but for charging cables for phones, the longer the cable, the longer it will take. So a short cable will charge your device faster than a long cable. Did you know that? Or is that a little bonus tip that you learned in this video? But yeah, so if you're watching this video, whether you're watching the replay or whether you are watching me live right now, say hello so I know that you're here. Let me know if you are using a microphone already at home. All right, one thing I'm noticing so far already is this thing is a little finicky to get in there. Like, is it in there? It's got pretty shallow little. Okay, I think it's in there, but that is something to watch, something to be careful with. It's in there right now. I'm going to go behind. I'm going to have to step around the other side of my desk to plug this bad boy in. And then we're going to give it a shot. We're going to give it a try. We're going to see if we can get it to work. I'll be right back. All right. I did not hear a ding. I did not hear a ding. What's up, Micah? I can see you. So YouTube is totally different than Facebook groups. Micah is in my group, my Facebook group that I was mentioning earlier. So the whole thing about showing and displaying your name on a live stream is a privacy issue. So if you go live in a Facebook group and you use an application like I am, which is StreamYard, you will actually, there's a privacy issue. And so that's because I can display your comment. And if you don't want your comment to be displayed outside of that group, which I can easily do, I could be multi-streaming and you wouldn't even know it. For example, I could go live here and I could go live in my group at the same time. It's a privacy issue. So when you're going live and you're using that application in a group, people have to basically give StreamYard permission to display your name and your face. So that's what Mike is referring to. But because we're over here on YouTube, it's public. It's a public forum. You know it's public. You're here. If you're commenting, everyone can see your comments. So it doesn't matter if I display your comment or Derek McLean over here at Driver Solutions. So that's why that is actually the case. So what's up, gentlemen? Hello. Thanks for joining. So I just plugged in the new mic. They are totally over here because they're popping in from the Facebook group because I just showed them this. And then I said, hey, I'm about to unbox this bad boy on YouTube. Come join me. So glad you guys are here. All right. Now I'm in StreamYard. I'm going to see if my audio is going to let me, if it's going to recognize this yet. Nothing yet. So here's what I'm going to do. So yeah, Derek says he was just doing some YouTube work and now he jumped over. Sweet. What's up? Now he was on. Derek is the marketing director over at Driver Solutions and he was over there and he toggled his user account. Now I know what you're saying. So, okay, cool. Here's the deal. So it's not showing up in my settings. So when I go into the audio settings of StreamYard, it's not showing up yet. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to close this browser. I'm going to be right back. My face is going to go away. It's going to go away. So hold on. Let me do something really quick. Let me do this, right? I'm going to be right back and I want to make sure nobody freaks out that I leave. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on my background. I'm going to close my browser, reopen it. I'll be right back. Hopefully it lets me recognize this USB mic. Okay, I am back. Now, here's the deal. Derek, I'm freaking out. Calm down. You knew I was going to come right back. You knew that. All right, so here's the thing. So it's not showing up in the audio settings. I also know that when I plugged it into my computer, I did not hear that little, ding, 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 little chime of when you plug in a new device. So computers have different USB ports. I bet you I'm supposed to be using a more powerful USB port. I didn't look at the instructions, you guys, because I'm just not, that's really not my style. Like I'm kind of like I'm just sort of like one of those people that just gets going. So interactive light, I'm looking at the features on the back of this thing. It's showing me some features. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna unplug it, plug it into a different port, and then we're gonna see what happens. It doesn't say anything about that. So hold on, let me see if I can do this. Okay, still don't hear anything. I didn't hear any chiming. Didn't hear anything. So when in doubt, what do? We look at something. Yeah, I know. I kind of get after it, I like to try things by myself real fast, see what happens. And then, it's that simple. I'm going to check my settings actually. So let's see, devices. So I'm going to go into my devices and I'm going to see what it's going to tell me. All right. Let me put this over here. Oh, audio. So I don't see it in there. We have an issue. Okay. I wonder if I've got this thing backwards or something. It feels like it's barely in there, that cable. So that's really kind of interesting. Still don't see anything. Let me go to add a device. It's weird. Not Bluetooth, not wireless. Wait, am I in? Hold on a second. Yeah. All right, let me just check this out. Let's see if we need to. It shouldn't have to do that. You guys, that's the beauty of these things that are usually plug and play. It even says setup, connect USB-C to Talk Go, connect to your PC or Mac USB import. Enter your PC or Mac settings to make sure connection is established. That's it. That's all it takes. And it's not working. So that's interesting. It could be because I'm running something. Sometimes that actually makes things funky. And I don't know why, but sometimes it just makes things funky when it comes to devices and setup. So I should be able to unbox it right on live, right? It should be able to. So I'm looking really quick at I'm trying to set up devices and it's locating my neighbor's Fire Stick. That's one thing. We don't want to try to connect to that. So that's weird. That's disappointing that we aren't able to get it to work. So I'm actually going to try one more thing, which is terrifying, but I may actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to, let's check this out. Audio. I like these live videos to be quicker than this. Like, I don't want to be messing around with crap, right? So, okay. So I'm trying to think troubleshooting. I replugged it in. I changed it. It feels like it's barely in there. Like, I feel like it should go in further. I just almost wonder if I don't have it in all the way, but I also don't want to break it. Oh, you guys, like, I had to push it in further and it clicked, which is actually kind of cool because it means it's going to hold it in. I will say one other thing about the Yetis is I don't love, look at that. It's lit up. That's fun. I don't love how the Yetis, sometimes the connections are a little crappy. Okay. So here's what I know. I read this. It said quick tap for on off. And then that's for muting. And then holding it down will change it from, well, let's see, omni to cardioid. We're holding it down. Okay. Okay, there we go. So blue, which one's which? Oh, blue is cardioid. And then green is omni, which is everything. So here's what we're going to do next. See, that I like that it's lit up, but the only thing that I think is weird is we don't know where that direction is. I don't know what part of the microphone I'm supposed to talk into. I'm going to guess it's this one. So here's what I'm guessing. If it's anything like the Yeti, it's going to come on the side. So I'm going to test. I'm talking into that side. So I'm going to set it down here. So I'll let you see this really quick. So right there, as you can see, I've got it right below me and I've got it. I'm going to basically be talking into this part. So that's how we've got that set up. All right. So let's see if I can select it now. Yes, I can. Okay. I moved my mic. Sorry about that, you guys. Okay. So I'm going to switch mics now. You guys are my live testers. I can't hear it. So I'm dying to know what you think. Actually, I could totally plug in some headphones into it if I wanted to, if I want to hear anything at all, which I think we'll do. All right. So one of the things too that is interesting is whoa. Did you hear that? Ooh, that's not good. That sounds terrible. Okay. So I actually can now hear myself because I have headphones in. I haven't switched mics yet, by the way. This thing is so loud. I'm assuming it's because the audio is all the way up, which I'm turning down, which doesn't appear to be Oh, there it goes. Woo! Y'all, that was like loud, super loud. So this thing, okay. So we're gonna check it out. We're gonna see what this sounds like. Okay, let's switch. Here we go. We're switching mics. So right now, you know what I got to do? Let me do this. Actually, I'm going to make this pretty interactive. Again, using StreamYard so I can do these fun things. Blue Yeti. And then we'll say JLab talk. Go. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Right now, I'm using the Blue Yeti. So I have the Blue Yeti right here. I'm going to put these the same distance away from me so that you guys can tell a difference. That is the Blue Yeti. I can adjust the recording volume on that. I do not know if I can adjust the recording volume on the Talk Go yet. This is the cheaper version. This is the cheapest one. There are 3 mics that JLab came out with. This is the cheapest one. And I am curious to see if it gets the job done. Yeah, the squeak, you heard that too. All right, so here we go. This is the Blue Yeti. I'm about to change over to, here we go, you guys. You ready for this? Okay, now I am using the other mic. So now I am actually using the JLab Talk Go. So what does this sound like in comparison to the Yeti I was just using? I'm really curious. I mean, does it sound the same? Does it sound different? Is it like better? I have it about, probably 10 inches away from me. How does it sound when I get closer? Curious about that, because if it sounds good, I know you can hear all that too. I would mount this thing and it's so much smaller from a profile standpoint. I can hear the P. That sounds pretty bad. At least through my headphones, it does. Derek says not much difference at all. So interesting. So here's the big difference. This thing's $40. That's it. $40. The Blue Yeti is like $140. So there's a pretty big difference in the cost. But one of the biggest difference I'm already thinking about again is the profile. Look how small this thing is. It's so much smaller. And so I don't mind having that in frame. Now, is it going to sound the same if it's over here versus in front of me? It's going to sound better in front of me. But again, it's small enough that it's not hateful. One of the things I hate about the Yeti is to get the best sound from it, it's got to be in frame, and it's huge. Look at the difference in size. I mean, that's a massive difference, right? I feel like I'm on Price is Right now holding this microphone, which is not a best practice, you guys. You don't hold microphones because you can hear my fingers moving around on everything, right? So, all right, here we go. Derek says maybe a bit more echo. That's probably because the Yeti, I can actually change the gain. And so by turning the gain down and getting closer to the microphone, it's actually going to pick up less echo. So I'm on a hard desk. Like I don't have foam pads or anything. So you are probably going to get a little echo because this thing's probably got its gain higher. That is actually the same thing with this mic right here. You cannot adjust the gain on this mic. These are essentially the same mic. This is $100. This is $40. But that is the same issue with this mic, is it brought in more echo, and that's because I can't adjust the gain. So if you wanted to eliminate the echo, you need to spend a little more money. You could do that. These JLab mics, they have different mics. I will say this is the smaller one, and the more expensive ones do get larger. So kind of eliminates that benefit. So Derek also says the other was a smoother sound. Yeah, I can already tell just by what I'm hearing. I can't wait to go watch this replay. Micah says, I guess I expected it to sound cheap, but it doesn't. And yeah, it's not. That's, what's interesting is, I mean, the thing is this, USB microphones have, you almost can't buy a bad one if you buy a newer one. Now, if you buy an old one that's cheap, it's probably not going to be great, but there's so much competition now and everybody's doing virtual. People are doing live streaming, microphones, cameras. I mean, like I said, you go to Best Buy and there's an end cap now for this. You go to Best Buy, there's like, they need to like consult with somebody like me because their stuff is all over the place. They have Like there's like 6 different spots I counted today where I could buy video and audio equipment. Some stuff's in computers, some stuff's over by the cameras, some stuff's on its in its own little location. Like they need to just create a multimedia department now. I mean, that's truly where we are in this industry. And so they need to do that. They should put everything together, all the mics together, all the cameras together, including webcams, like all the stuff, podcast equipment, audio equipment, with video equipment, and just put it together, because right now it's in all these different locations. But the point being is that you can literally almost not get a bad USB microphone now. Everything you get is going to be good quality. So that's something that's really interesting. So this is important. So Micah says he can hear my S's and my P's a lot. Yep, I'm kind of hearing that through the headphones as well. You would hear that probably a little bit more on my Yeti if I didn't have the pop filter, which, let's just get cheeky here. Does that make it sound better? I literally just put it on top, and maybe it's going to be a little bit better. We'll see. Let me know if it eliminated the sharpness of the S's and the pops of the P's. I'm already thinking, based on what I'm hearing, that it does. So I'm curious about that. I still think you only notice when you do direct comparison. Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, most of the time you're never going to notice something different unless you see it right there or hear it right there. Micah says, I agree with Derek on the direct comparison. Wouldn't have any complaints if I didn't know the difference, right? Like I spoiled y'all, right? Totally spoiled you guys when it comes to the other audio version. It's the same thing. Like so I also, inside my Facebook group, for those of you that are not part of my Facebook group, I have been experimenting with lots of things, right? Because I'm getting ready to do a live boot camp where I'm going to teach you how to do all these things. So if you're interested, drop a comment and I will send you some information and how you can get on the list for that. But literally, I have been doing different cameras. So I have 3 cameras hooked up to my computer. I have a Logitech 920. I have a Logitech Brio, which is what you're viewing right now. And then I also have my Canon EOS M50, which is a DSLR camera. I am using the Canon Beta Utility app so that the computer can recognize that camera as a webcam. If you guys have tried DSLR cameras before, maybe you've heard of the Elgato Cam Link. That's a capture card, does the same thing. But essentially, I use the Brio all the time, and I have been experimenting with the Canon, and everyone's like, oh, I like the Brio better. It's actually a better picture quality with the Canon. It's just different. So sometimes people think it's better, but the old thing is better, but it's just because they're not used to the difference. But if I just go live with the camera, the DSLR, everyone's like, whoa, looks great. So it's that comparison thing is true. It's kind of like when you go to the coffee store and you drink coffee and it's delicious, and then you eat something sweet. But then when you go back to the coffee tastes more bitter. But if you didn't eat something sweet, your taste buds wouldn't taste the bitterness. It's because your taste buds are comparing. And that's also why sweets taste good with coffee, because coffee is a bit bitter. It makes the sweet stuff taste sweeter and more enriched. I do still hear the S. So Micah is saying the filter does make a difference. It makes it hard to justify a $200 Yeti. Yeah. So Micah, just so you know, there are 2 types of Yetis out there, Blue Yetis. There's the Blue Yeti, and then there's the Blue Yeti Pro. And the Blue Yeti Pro is $200. I do not truly know why. I don't know that there's any difference, enough of a difference to even differentiate the 2 Yetis. So I personally do like my Yeti for podcasting. I think it's great. I like that it's just, you plug the thing in and it works. I don't have to use a mixer. Like high-end professional podcasters, like my friend Crystal Profit, she teaches podcasting. She just launched her book today, by the way, actually. You can literally check it out at thebestpodcastingbook.com. I love her domain. But it's how to start a binge-worthy podcast. She actually likes the higher-end XLR. Is that right? XLR dynamic microphones, which is, you have to have a mixer to get I don't want to do that. I want to just do plug and play stuff. So I think the Yeti is amazing. So Derek actually likes my DSLR look, but it drains the camera. It does. You have to be careful, especially your camera. Like there's certain DSLR cameras that will fry up really fast. The Canon EOS M50 is actually marketed as a camera for vlogging. So it's actually got more power for video. So it's going to handle video better than like a different DSLR camera. I know that Sony actually, their cameras, the A6000, A6100, those are the ones that are like super, super highly recommended for live streaming. My friends, Derek Foster and over Luria Petrucci, actually with Live Streaming Pros, they recommend the Sonys. By the way, if you're not following them, go check them out. They have great stuff over here on YouTube. Okay, so that is the comparison. Now I'm going to put this thing back down. I'm going to make a lot of noise. Sorry. We're going to put it back down. I have it down there. Definitely is right here. This is where the sound comes from. I am much closer to the mic now, so it probably sounds totally different for you guys. Now, curious about this. Hold on a second. What are the chances? Nope, no chance whatsoever. I was curious if the tip of the microphone also would pull in. No, it's over here. It's definitely on that other section. So again, I'm making a ton of noise while I move the mic around. I'm sorry about that. It's probably really annoying. So yeah. Micah says, I just stick to the Melanie Diana proof shopping list. That's why I'm doing this. Let me fix that real quick. That's why I do this. That's why I'm always trying different things. I want to check out different pieces of equipment so I can figure out, like some people say, I'm just getting started. Do I really need to spend $150 on a microphone? And I'm like, no, you don't. But I want to find a good alternative. Here's the thing. I can take this thing back if I don't want to keep it. So I wanted to try it, check it out today. And if I don't like it, I'll take it back, right? One thing I did know, and as we noted earlier, is you got to pop that thing in there really, really, really hard to get the cable to attach. So, okay, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Thanks for joining me, Derek and Micah live. Any of you guys that watched the replay, let me know if you watched it. Let me know what questions you have. Say replay, just comment with replay. I just am curious to see what you think. What microphones are you using? Again, this was the unboxing of the JLab Talk Go. It's a USB microphone. You just plug the thing in and it works. It was $40. Let me double check that. Yeah, $39.99 at Best Buy as of right now. It's October 20th, 2020. At least that's where it was what it was at mine. The JLab they came out with 3 microphones, USB microphones, and I found them on the end cap at my local Best Buy. This is not an affiliate video. This is me just checking it out, trying new things. And it was, again, easy plug and play, plug it in. That's it. I normally use the Blue Yeti, but I wanted to try something that looked cool, that's a smaller profile, to see what I thought, see if I liked it. So I can't wait to listen to the replay and check it out, dial this thing in a little bit more. There are ways to dial in USB mics. There are ways that you can actually use other software it's really complicated. You can use other software where you basically feed everything into that software, and then that software pushes it out to wherever it is you're producing content. And in those apps, you can adjust settings, more settings. This particular microphone has very limited settings that it comes with. It's essentially the recording direction. It is not the comparison. It is not an apples to apples comparison to the Blue Yeti. The Blue Yeti is just normally what I use, which is why I had it started there. This is probably a comparison to the Blue Yeti Nano, which maybe I'll do a comparison video and compare these two mics, because this would be more of an apples to apples comparison because it only has omnidirectional and cardioid as well, just like this mic. And you also cannot adjust the gain. So it has less control over the settings. They're about the same size. That one is way heavier than this one. This one's light. It looks cool. It's got this cool light on it. So that's the comparison. So I should probably do another video where I compare those two. But just wanted to unbox this bad boy, get it plugged in, see how easy it was. See if we only had one little hiccup, and that was simply because I wasn't pushing the cable into the microphone hard enough for it to connect. So it was easy. It was definitely a plug and play mic for $40 based on the feedback I got from some of my, fun, loyal followers. They told me it sounded great. They told me it sounded good. So for $40, I mean, it's a great way to get started, right? If you're not doing podcasting or other things, you don't need the fancy schmancy stuff. So keep it scrappy, but don't be crappy. That's my motto. So that's what I'm going to say for you guys today. Other than that, go have a good day and let me know if you found this helpful. See you guys.